Hi, this is DialogueFaction and welcome to another Skyrim Creation Kit tutorial video. I want to start off by thanking everyone who's subscribed to the channel and all the great feedback I've been receiving. Really helpful, thank you very much. Today we're going to be creating a guard, just quickly creating an NPC guard and guiding him through a patrol. So pointing out the areas in which he's going to patrol up and down this inn I've created here. It's going to be a really simple tutorial, to be honest. We're also going to add a couple of packages to him maybe, and also going to set up his factions. So I've just made a guy called Barney Blue here. I'm going to edit him. So I've just set most of the basic stuff. If you want to know how to create NPCs, I've got an advanced followers tutorial which you can go and find in my playlists. That will help you create an NPC. I'm just going to skim through this quickly. Go preview, there he is, my Barney Blue. I've set him up with the guard outfit and everything. So you can also give him other guard outfits or create an outfit yourself. So just made a Breton, all that, set some stats. Factions, as you can see, you need to add the following factions here. Now if you're creating a custom area, then it's going to have its own crime faction for this to work. For it to work properly anyway. So you want to add the crime faction of your area. In this case I'm just going to do the Rift and Riften. So the other thing that you want to add is a town faction. So the way you do this, you just right click new in factions, type in what you want and then select it and click OK. So the one main thing that we're really going to need to get the dialogue to work with this guard is this faction here, which is basically the ISGuardFaction. And this will just, as I said, give him all the dialogue, so he'll actually sound like a guard, talk like a guard, and it'll be much better. When you've got your crime faction set, you want to select it in the list here. This should basically mean that the guard knows where to take you if you do crimes and all that. I haven't tested all this out properly, so a bit of feedback for that would be helpful. I think that's pretty much all you really need to set for guards. You can go into a guard in the actors list if you want, check out how they're set up, and you can just copy them. The main thing for this tutorial is just knowing how to lay them out to patrol of their own. Go along, AI data is pretty important. Make sure that they're brave or foolhardy, all the usual things so that they're not going to just run off. Make them help allies, no crime obviously, otherwise they're not going to see you stealing things as a problem at all. Mood you can set to what you want, make sure there's no aggro radius, and make sure that they are unaggressive. So it's all sort of NPC, standard NPC creation stuff. Now packages is the part that we're really going to need, but before we move on to packages we're just going to go and click OK. We're going to confirm our guard and we're going to go ahead and just place down some nice idle markers. So type in the word patrol in your filter, go down and click all, and we should have an idle marker here somewhere. There it is, patrol idle marker. If nothing shows when you drag it in and the screen slightly flickers, tap M, because like me you probably haven't got your markers actually on. I'm going to be using this in for a quick nav mesh tutorial as well. As you can see, that's why there's random objects placed around. So as you can see, you've got this marker here. This is a patrol idle marker, and if you just double click on it, we'll have a look. And you want to go to patrol data. Patrol data means it's basically you set certain things to it, so such as the time that he's going to actually stand at this specific point when he reaches it. So you can go ahead and tick that and you get this option here, and if you say 5 seconds for this this patrol marker, click OK, and we'll just have them all as 5. So you want to set the one up, Control and D or right click duplicate, whichever way you want to do it, and we're just going to copy 3 or 4 of these. So copy 3 or 4 of them. So there we go. So now we've got a nice laid out sort of 3 patrol markers. We want them to go from patrol marker 1 here, onto 2, onto 3, and then back to 1. And he'll just sort of triangle around. That's as simple as that. So we've got to start setting a few things up. The one thing that we need to set up is the patrol package. So we'll leave that for now. The next thing you need to do with these, you need to link them together. So you want to double click on it, go on to link reference, double click on that, select reference, and double click on the next marker in the sort of setup there. So you want to go on to the next one, click link reference, click on that, double click on that one, okay, and then the same again for the last one, link reference, all your markers together, which obviously hasn't worked properly. Double click a link reference again, link that to that one. There we go, make sure it works. We'll just try that again. Very picky thing is the creation kit. There we go. So as you can see, you'll get these lines with arrows basically pointing out where he's going to go next. So we've got a nice triangle now. So when you're making your guide, you might want him to patrol an entire city and have to have more than 3. So you just have to link them all together. What you can do is, I think you should be able to actually forget the last link. So if it was a very long line, you want to walk up and then double back. You should actually do that if you leave that link out, so he'll just double back on himself and walk the route back. Like I said, I haven't properly tested this, but this is how it works. So now you're going to need your guard to actually be sort of attached to these, if you will. So the main thing that you want to do, you can actually set the ownership to the guard. So in this case, my guy is going to be Barney Blue. So you want to click on each of your markers, make sure they're set up for Barney Blue, so he knows that they are his markers and he can use them. And all we're going to do now, we're going to actually just set up a small package that points him at the first marker, and from there he'll be able to follow his route round. So we're going to go back into our actors list, type in Barney, double click. Packages, I'm going to get round to doing a better package tutorial. I do sort of have one already, but I'm going to make a better package tutorial at some point when I've got the time. But you want to right click new in the packages, and we're going to just call it Barney Patrol. And you want to click on the package template here, and you want to type in Patrol, click OK. If you have a look, you've actually got a number of things: Patrol and Herd, Patrol and Hunt. You can actually set up markers out in the wilderness, and they'll go and hunt at their markers. They'll search for wildlife. Oh, email. Right, they'll search for wildlife and all that. So that's great. You can set that up, but we're just going to do normal patrol. Now you can really mess around with it in your own time, find out what you can do with all this patrol data, but this is really simple when you get to use it. And now, as you can see, we've got a single reference selection here. So click link reference. Wait for it to load, it can take a while. Specific reference, again you really need to just wait for it. Select the reference, double click on that, click OK, and it says patrol idle marker in test in, which is my location I'm in. In, pardon the pun. So that's basically it. You can go into a lot more detail, and you can schedule it so they're only doing this patrol between certain hours. Again, you'll have to find a package tutorial or go and check my other one out just to know how to set that up. So you can have them patrol in the day, and then you could set up another guard that patrols it in the night. So if you go ahead and click OK, we've now got that package set. Make sure it's at the top there. If you've got a number of packages, make sure they're in the right order. The top one always wins, and then when that isn't applicable, it goes down to the next. So you really want to be careful with that. We should basically be done. You want to go ahead, click OK. All that's left to do, we'll just drag Barney Blue in. You want to be sure that your area is fully nav meshed, or this won't work at all. He won't appear in the map whatsoever. I think I have generated my nav mesh slightly here, so he does have a bit of nav mesh to guide himself around. And I'll actually I'll nip in game, and I'll show you that he should actually be just patrolling those areas there. That should pretty much be it for our new Barney Blue guard. So I'll go in game and show you it working. Okay, here we are. We have arrived in my test in. And as you can see, our guard is walking around. There's one thing I'm just going to note. I forgot to set the dialogue itself in the NPC creation to male guard, or if you're making a female, it would be female guard. So just selecting the faction for ISGuard won't give him the guard dialogue. You'll have to go in and actually select that in the traits tab, the first tab, and select the voice for guard. So just going to note that. Apologies for that. And as you can see, he's actually making his route around the room, so it's all working really nicely. We've got a fully working guard on his patrol, and like I said, if you cut out the line between the last and the start one, he should just double back and do the route in that sort of way. So A to B, B to A, rather than A to B to C to A. So if that makes any sense. So there we go, we've got a nice working guard on a patrol. Like I said, you can check out a package tutorial when I get it uploaded, so subscribe to keep up to date with that. And I'll show you how to do a little more with NPCs themselves. And there we go, Barney Blue doing his patrol. So, like I said, thanks very much for watching. I hope you found it helpful. Please visit my website. I've got some cool stuff up on there. All the info on my mods. I've got my merchants pack up and coming. That's on the way to be uploaded. And just check out my other videos. So I will speak to you next time.